So today is Sunday morning, and this is what's for breakfast. We are just having pancakes this morning. Glenn will be having a cup of coffee. I'll probably have a cup of milk, but that's what's for breakfast this morning. Just pancakes, no side dishes. So I use this Aunt Jemima complete pancake mix. Just add water. I don't measure. It tells you on the back how many cups of mix to how many cups of water. I don't use that. I just add water to when I see the thickness I want it to. Okay, this is Glenn's plate. 2 pancakes, a cup of coffee. He uses it in that cup because it keeps it warmer longer. So this is Glenn's plate of pancakes. And here's my plate of pancakes with a cup of milk. We like to drink out of styrofoam cups because it keeps the drinks cold longer. And we like to eat with plastic utensils over the metal ones. But we do reuse this stuff. So I will rewash and rinse that cup to be used another time. Alright, today is Monday morning, and what's for breakfast today? Glenn is having 2 eggs with picante sauce, excuse me, and some crushed red peppers with some toast and grape jelly and some diced up ham, which is the last of our lunch meat. And we're going to have a cup of orange juice. So that is Glenn's plate. Okay, so for my plate, I'm having 2 eggs. And I put some shredded cheese over it and melted it a little bit. Got a little bit of ham and some toast. On this piece of toast, it's just butter, so I can soak up the yolk. And this piece of toast has some cinnamon sugar on it. And I got some orange juice there also. And this breakfast was more about just finishing up some of the ends of things like our ham and our bread. So that is what's for breakfast on Tuesday morning, or Monday morning, sorry. Welcome to Tuesday morning. It's February 23rd, and in today's What's for Breakfast, I'm going to be making some Spanish rice, opening up a can of refried beans and a couple of eggs to go with it. And Glenn usually likes his picante sauce on top of his eggs, and I don't. So we'll also use some tortillas to eat with it. So first I got to get the rice going and make a small puree for that. Okay, so let's get going. Alright, so to make my puree for the rice, I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is so I can get more of a tomatoey flavor, otherwise you can add just 1 tablespoon and it'll still be okay. But I'm just trying to get more tomato flavor. Then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water and just going to whisk that together to make a puree. All right. There is my puree for the rice, so I'm going to just set that aside now. I'm going to get the rice going. Okay, to start off with the stove process of the rice, I got 3 tablespoons of olive oil warming up here. And then I'm going to go ahead and brown my rice before I add any liquids. Alright, the oil has been warming up, so I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of white rice. I'm using white long grain rice. And then I'm just going to stir it up a little bit so all the rice gets the oil. I have my stove on a medium heat, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this on until my rice is browned while stirring it from time to time, okay? Alright, so you can see the rice is brown now. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomato paste puree. And also 1.5 cups of water, which the half cup I'm going to just put in the bowl here that my puree, oops, sorry, I burned myself, that my puree was in, and I'm going to throw it in there. So that's 1.5 cups of water and the puree I made. I'm just going to give it a stir. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in, this is called caldo de pollo, which is basically chicken flavored bouillon, and I'm using the Knorr brand. I'm going to give it 2 teaspoons. The first time I made it I did 1 teaspoon, but I'm trying to give it a little more flavor. So I'm just going to mix that, stir that all in, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. So I'm just going to wait till this comes to a boil. Okay, you can see and hear that it's coming to a boil. I see the bubbles coming up, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it one more stir around. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to turn it down to the low, between 1 and 2. And I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes, and in that 20 minutes I will not uncover it so it can cook. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my lid off to let the steam out. And I'm going to shut the burner off, and I'm going to cover it back up once the steam is out. No heat, turn the burner off. You can leave it on the same burner, and then I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes, so we're going to take this off now. And now I'm just going to take a fork and fluff it all up. Smells good. Looks like the texture is perfect. And what I didn't show on camera is I added some salt. So you can add a little bit of salt if you want. If not, it's up to you. Or you can wait till it's done and salt it to taste. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and taste that. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, there you have it. Spanish rice. Pretty simple. And while I was doing the rice, I was also at the same time heating up the refried beans. And now I'm going to get my tortilla warmer on here. So I'll get that done. Okay, on this Tuesday morning, here's Glenn's plate. He's got 2 eggs with some Spanish rice and refried beans, and he likes about 1/4 of the jar of picante sauce on his eggs, but that's nice and hot for him. I'm warming up some corn tortillas, but that is his plate for Tuesday morning. Along with Glenn's plate, we've got a bowl of hot pickled carrots with onions and jalapenos that we made the other day, and there will be a video on that, and some corn tortillas. Okay, this is my plate. I've got 2 eggs with shredded cheese on top, all melted nicely. I got some rice and beans and a cup of orange juice. Glenn also got a cup of orange juice. So that's what's for breakfast on Tuesday morning on to Wednesday. Alright, and Thursday's what's for breakfast. We decided to go with some breakfast burritos. So obviously I'll be using some eggs. We have some of our last potatoes that need to be used up, so I'll dice those up in small pieces. I'll be cutting up some bacon. Got our flour tortillas here. I'll be putting some chorizo in there. And I'll most likely top mine with some cheese. And Glenn will most likely top his with some paste picante sauce. Alright, so right now I'm going to go ahead and dice up my potatoes and get them boiling. Okay, I've diced up my potatoes. So I just gave them a rinse in the cold water. And then I'm going to put them in the saucepan to boil up a little bit before I fry them. Okay, I got my potatoes going in the saucepan here. It's on the burner. And meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my bacon into small pieces and get those. I'll start frying those up once these potatoes are at a boil. And they'll cook at the same time. So, stay tuned. Alright, included in my breakfast, I'm going to have a banana. And I'm going to eat that right now while all the stuff is cooking. So, I like to eat bananas a lot, and especially when they're at this stage. So yeah, I'm going to have myself a banana for my breakfast. Okay, so we decided to add a couple of things. I made this Spanish rice the other morning, so we have some leftovers, and I'll be warming that up. And a can of refried beans. I'll just microwave both of them and see what I can fit in these breakfast burritos. Okay, I now have my potatoes frying. They got done boiling, so now I just added some seasoned salt, pepper, and onion powder, and I'm frying them in butter. So I'll wait till those get done. Okay, and over here I got my bacon frying up, and if you just pull it apart, you see I just got, this is really thin bacon, so I just got it in little pieces like that. So, alright, so I'm just going to wait for these things to fry up before going on. Alright, so while the bacon and the potatoes are cooking, I've got 6 eggs in this bowl, which I'm just going to whisk up and have ready to throw in there once I'm ready to combine everything. And I've also got my pack of chorizo here, and then I'm just going to open this up and have use one stick of this. I think I'm going to use a whole stick, because this breakfast is actually going to be for today and tomorrow. So we'll have breakfast tacos or burritos both days. So we'll have burritos today. We'll see what we have tomorrow. So, alright, I'm going to just whisk this up and I'll be right back. Alright everyone, so the potatoes are done. You can see they're nice golden brown and soft on the inside. I already tried one. So at this point I'm just going to go ahead and add my chorizo in. And I've got the rice going in the microwave. Just going to cook the chorizo down until it's in little tidbits. You can smell that. And once it cooks down to tidbits, then I'll add the egg and the bacon. And you can add like onions, peppers, anything you basically want to this. I just didn't. Like I said, by the time this is done, it's going to be plenty of breakfast for a couple mornings. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and continue to stir this up, and I'll be right back. Alright, you can see that the chorizo has broken down quite a bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in my eggs. And my bacon. We're just going to mix all that together. You can have these in breakfast burritos, breakfast tacos, whatever you want. Or you can just put it on a plate and put rice and beans on the side. Glenn was going back and forth on how he wanted that, whether in a burrito or just on a plate with rice and beans on the side. Before I make the burrito, I'll ask him one more time. Hope you're all having a great week. Can't believe it's Thursday already again. This is the last week of February, and March gives us hope of spring. think I'll be putting my Easter stuff up the next day or so. Tired of seeing these winter decorations. I have snowman up still from Christmas just because it's still winter. But it gets to a point you don't want to see winter stuff anymore. You just want to see spring. Oops, sorry, just hit the camera. Okay, I will be right back. Alright everyone, so this is done. And now I'm going to move this to the other burner so I can put my tortilla warmer on here. And I check with Glenn, and the final decision is going to have it on a burrito. So, alright, so I will be right back as I plate these up. Alright, we have Glenn's burrito here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it with the rice and beans first. Just spread that out a little bit. Throw some rice. Just gonna put a dab of cheese because he doesn't like cheese that much. That's plenty for him. And now I'm gonna put the chorizo on there. Okay. Yes, I'm reaching over the camera. Now I want to leave enough room to fold this, so we'll go with that. Alright, I'm just going to fold the ends. Oh, forgot the most important thing to him. It's picante sauce. Yes, he likes a lot. Especially because it's only medium heat. He used to get the hot, but I can't find it hardly anymore. Alright, let's fold this up. There's a burrito. Now, I like to cut it. Makes it a little easier to pick up and eat. Alright, so there we have it. Breakfast burrito. Looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to get this to him before it gets cold. Alright, now this is my burrito. Basically, I'm going to do the same thing. Line it with rice and beans. And the only exception is I won't have picante sauce, but I will have a lot more cheese. Because I like to have food with my cheese. Alright, let me go get the chorizo. Throw some cheese in there. Okay, mine might be a little harder to fold. Oh yeah, opening up. Okay, there we have. Let's cut her open. Without cutting my finger off. All right, there we go. And that's what's for breakfast Thursday morning, breakfast burritos. So we'll probably have enough for tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a new day. It is Saturday afternoon, and I am wrapping up my week of what's for breakfast. But today is not breakfast, it's lunch because we didn't eat breakfast. So it's going to be what's for breakfast and lunch. I'm making some hamburger patties on the George Foreman. I've got some Spyro mac and cheese on the stove right now. So, yeah. And I'm out of milk, so I thought I was going to have to go to the store. But I remembered we had some of that shelf-stable milk from the food pantry. So that is what I'm going to use. So, and luckily I just have one of those little small cartons that are like with a straw. So I just opened up that, and that's what I'm going to use. And that's going to be our lunch. Tonight I'm going to be making sweet and sour chicken. So, yeah. I'm listening to music, just making lunch. Right now I'm listening to Marty Stewart. And what song was it? the little things back from the 90s. So yeah, makes me mad because I can't have it on while I'm doing the video. So I'll show you my tablet and my playlist there. All right, here's my tablet, and I got my Marty Stewart playlist on there. It's actually Don't Be Cruel. So I actually used to have that CD. I don't know if I do anymore. But I just make playlists on YouTube for the music I like to listen to. So that's what I'm listening to on my little Bose speaker there. And I got the George Foreman here. If I hadn't said that before, I know I talked about this George Foreman before, but it's newer than that original George Foreman where it was really small. But on this one, you can remove these plates to wash them, soak them in hot water, the bottom plate and the top plate by these little clips here. They just snap out of there. So that's what I love about this George Foreman, and it's bigger. And so what I got, 4 hamburger patties. I'm using the ground beef, the grass-fed ground beef we received from the food pantry. Glenn likes onions in his, so I chopped up onions. Not so small as I usually do because I'm not eating them. But these are my patties. And you notice the little dimple in the middle of the patties. I don't know if you know that, but that's what keeps the juices inside the hamburger patty. So whenever I make hamburgers, I always put that little dimple in there. I just put my thumb in there and just squeeze it down. So yeah. So yeah, that's a little carton of shelf-stable milk that I'll be using for the mac and cheese. End the week on this Saturday afternoon. This is what's for lunch. Got some spiral mac and cheese with some hamburger patties, some A1 sauce. And Glenn has the same thing, except you can see all the onions on his. And then we're also he's gonna have a couple peaches, and I'll have a little thing of mango peach applesauce, which I love. All right, so that is what's for lunch and ends the week. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.